All right. Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive?
Always ready. What are we looking at today?
Today, we're tackling earbuds, specifically the SoundMagic E11Cs.
Ooh, those are pretty popular.
Yeah, they've been getting some buzz, and a lot of you out there are wondering if they're worth the hype.
Yeah, makes sense. There's so many earbuds on the market these days.
It's true. So to help you decide, we've got Jack's experience with the E11Cs to unpack.
Excellent. Let's hear what he has to say.
And it's a bit of a journey, his experience.
Ooh. How so? Well, Jack, as it turns out, wasn't always a fan of earbuds.
Really? Interesting. Why not?
Yeah, he had a bad experience years ago with some that just didn't fit right, and the sound quality wasn't great.
Ah, I see. So he was a little hesitant about trying the E11Cs?
Exactly. So, what changed his mind?
Spin-fit tips?
SpinFit tips. What are those?
They're aftermarket ear tips that can completely change how an earbud fits and, even more importantly, how it sounds.
It's like a customized fit. Pretty much. Jack found that with the stock tips that came with the E11Cs, the sound was a bit muffled.
Muffled.
Yeah, kind of like listening through a blanket. But with the SpinFit tips, he got a perfect seal.
Okay, so the seal's important.
Super important. It lets the drivers in the earbuds really do their thing, like unlocking their full potential.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So lesson learned. The right fit is crucial, especially for good sound.
Couldn't agree more.
But before we get too deep into sound, Jack also mentioned the E11Cs have a sleek brushed aluminum design.
Yeah, they look pretty sharp.
So what does that brushed aluminum actually mean, like from a construction standpoint?
It means these earbuds are built to last. They're housed in lightweight, durable aluminum, not like some cheap plastic you might see.
Okay, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, it's a mark of quality. And that brush finish adds a touch of class, too. Plus, they come with a carrying case.
Oh yeah, a case is always a good bonus.
Right. And it's not just any case. It's made from tough EVA foam, so it actually protects the earbuds.
Nice. So we've got style and durability covered.
For sure.
But let's talk sound quality, because that's ultimately what matters most. Jack mentioned clear, balanced audio, especially for classical music.
He did. And, he's not wrong. The E11Cs are surprisingly good for classical.
Surprising. How so?
Well, a lot of earbuds in this price range tend to emphasize bass, but the E11Cs are more balanced.
So you can hear all the instruments clearly.
Precisely. Jack was really impressed with how the string sections sounded, for example. Clear and detailed, no harshness.
No harshness, that's good. I hate when the violin sounds screechy.
Yeah, nobody wants that. And because the soundstage is so balanced, no one instrument overpowers the other.
That's ideal for classical, where you want to hear everything working together.
Exactly. Now, Jack also found them good for other stuff, too, like podcasts.
Okay, so they're versatile.
Very much so. Movies, language learning apps, they handle it all pretty well.
Yeah.
But there's one thing.
What's that?
Jack described the sound signature as cold sometimes.
Cold. What does that even mean in terms of sound?
It basically means the bass frequencies are a little laid back, not booming,
So not for bass heads.
Probably not the best choice for those who crave that thumping bass. But some people actually prefer a neutral sound.
True, true. It all comes down to personal preference.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've talked sound quality, we've talked aesthetics. What about practicality?
Ah, yes. Well, one thing Jack highlighted was the passive noise isolation.
Noise isolation, that's always a good thing, especially for commutes.
It's essential for some people, and the E11Cs do a pretty decent job of blocking out ambient noise.
How come?
Well, the design of the earbuds themselves helps, plus that good seal you get from the SpinFit tips, it all adds up.
Makes sense. And of course, they're wired, so you don't have to worry about Bluetooth.
That's right. No pairing, no dropouts, just plug and play.
Reliable. But the wire itself, could that be a drawback for some people?
It could be. If you're someone who moves around a lot or, works out with your earbuds, the wire can get in the way.
Yeah, that's true.
But for Jack, it wasn't a big deal. He mostly used them at home or while commuting, so the wire wasn't really an issue.
Okay, so it depends on your usage.
Definitely. Now, there was one little quirk Jack mentioned.
What's that?
The inline controls.
What about them?
He said they were a bit fiddly. Sometimes you had to press the buttons a few times to get them to register.
Ah, that's annoying.
It can be. And occasionally he had some fit issues during really intense workouts.
Even with the SpinFit tips?
Even with them. So if you're a hardcore runner, you might want to keep that in mind.
Good point. So some trade-offs to consider. But overall, it sounds like Jack was pretty happy with the 11Cs.
Oh yeah, he was. In fact, they became his go-to earbuds, even over some more expensive ones he'd used before.
Wow, so they really impressed him.
They did. For the price, he felt like the combination of style, durability, and that detailed sound, even with the slight coldness, made them a great value.
So for those on a budget, these are worth considering.
Definitely worth a look.
All right, so to sum it all up, we've got stylish, durable earbuds that deliver good sound quality.
Perfect for a range of genres, but maybe not the best for those who love that heavy bass.
Right. And while there are a few minor quirks, overall, they seem like a strong contender for anyone looking for value.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Now, before we wrap up, any final thoughts for our listeners?
Yeah, one last thing. Remember how we talked about the spin fit tips being a game changer for Jack?
Yeah.
Well, everyone's ears are different, right? So if you're seriously thinking about getting the E11Cs, it's worth doing a little research.
What kind of research?
See if the overall design and fit are likely to work well for your ears. You can find reviews and comparisons online.
So don't just jump in blindly.
Exactly. A little bit of research can go a long way in finding the perfect earbuds for you.
That's great advice. All right, thanks for joining us for another deep dive. See you next time.
See ya!